Man, I oh, I had a revelation, and I just want to say big shout out to my man Goldmouth Tommy over there at Shot O'clock. Shot O'clock. We'll go. What time is it? It is Shot O'clock. That's a shot of water though. Food, y'all. Y'all really think I would come on here on a Monday night drinking liquor? It's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy. But no, he really made me want to bring back Ice Water and Beyonce because I just keep seeing him posting that Beyonce on his feed, and I'm like, taking me back to my roots. Kind of like before the pod started, I was listening to some Webby, Trill Savage, and it took me back to my roots. It was music that I forgot how much I like because I haven't listened to it in so long. But man, look, it's something about going back to our roots. And I want you to think about your roots throughout this listening experience, or if you're watching this audio visual experience, okay? I want you to think about growing up. And I want you to think about being asked, Will, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or who do you want to be when you grow up? And you think about how at an early age, you begin to idolize characters. Whether that character is a person, a real person, whether that character is a cartoon, whether that character is a created person from a movie, TV show, or both, or whether that person is a profession. We all are, I guess, kind of conditioned to strive to be characters. Now think about it. When you dress up for Halloween, who do you want to be? Again, back to your idols. When you talk about what you want to be when you grow up, it's built off of a character usually. Oh boy, you remind me of so and so and so and so. Oh, a character, not a person. That's what happens so much in our society. So it makes me ask the question: as people, do we hate ourselves so much that we'd rather be and learn from characters than regular human beings? I'm over here worse than my sensation playing the wrong drops, but I want to ask you again. Humans, America, if I could do my best Bernie Mac impersonation, America, do we hate ourselves so much that we'd much rather be a character than our own selves? Do we hate ourselves so much that we would rather learn from characters than learn from human beings? Just think about this. Think about the different educational shows that you watch as a kid or that you have your kids watch. They're learning from like a cartoon character, like Steve from Blue's Clues. And Blue was like, burr, burr, burr. Like, can't even speak English. And Dora, 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 the Explorer. All of these different people, right? They're characters. They're not real people. How come we just can't, have our children, have our youth learn from real people? I'd say that if I could go back, when somebody asked me what I wanted to be or who I wanted to be as a kid, I'd say the best me. I wouldn't want to be anybody else because now I don't. I don't want to act like anybody else. I don't care to look like anybody else. I don't want to dress like anybody else. I learn from a lot of people, but I want to be like myself. But our society has told us that we have to learn from characters. And what that does is it causes those people who are true, genuine people who have a message to teach people to turn into characters. Yeah. Turn into characters. See, the whole reason that the character, the big baby, was created, it was not created because I didn't think I could come on here and talk about things that people cared about. I didn't think that I could, have a good message to tell the people. It was like, you know what? Nobody wants to hear from AC. Nobody wants to hear from Adam. They want to hear from a character. So let's create a character that is a caricature of who I truly am and use that to try to push a message. And as I'm evolving and as I'm growing, I say, you know what? I can't do that anymore because I don't want to create a character to get my message across. If you can't take my message from me, then maybe it's not for you. At some point you get tired of dumbing down what you do to try to reach everybody. And you get to a point to where you want to smarten up, open the market up, and speak to those who can actually understand what you're saying. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean we turn our backs on those who can't understand us. No. We turn our backs on those who don't want to understand us, who don't try to understand us, and want to be in love with a character. I'll tell you, man, going through this process, one of the most difficult parts about it one of the easiest parts about it, and one of the difficult parts to live with, is people who know me by my first name, my middle name, and my last name, and will go up to me and say, "Big baby." Man, if you don't get out my face calling me that, I'm not in character right now. Do you think somebody walk up to Joaquin Phoenix and go, Joker? I'd hope not. But it's probably true because sadly enough, people go up to Alfonso Ribeiro and they be like, "It's not unusual. It's not unusual." And you'd be like, bro, that's a character. Not a man. That's a character. But as a society, we're fascinated with characters. And I think about it. Think about Tupac. Tupac was probably the biggest character / caricature of himself that we could find. This man was an actor, a man of the arts. Went to art school with Jada Pinkett Smith. Make sure I put that Smith on. I don't want to get smacked. But yet, he found his message being most heard when he decided to embrace thug life and go to prison and perpetuate the life that he was trying to get us to leave. Because as black people, now I'm starting to talk to black people. I ain't talking to everybody else anymore. I'm talking to black people. We want somebody to have stripes before we can listen to them. We want them to be proven before we can listen to them. They got to be either a criminal or a reformed criminal, or they got to be perpetuating a lifestyle that is counterproductive to our progress in order for us to listen. That's what we do. You understand that? I mean, that's why Cardi B gets to be on presidential campaigns telling us who to vote for. Excuse me, say what? Cardi B? You couldn't find one of our our esteemed theologians, or one of our esteemed academics, or one of our esteemed business people to go talk. No, they can't come talk to our community because our community don't know who these people are. Because instead of studying the real people in our community, we want to study the characters. Damn it, man. You hate yourself so much that you don't even want to study a real person. You want to study a character because you'd rather be more like a character than be like the person that you truly are. And let me tell you, that's corrupting our character. Think about it. Big interviews. Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, they went to the Breakfast Club to get the black vote. The Breakfast Club. That's who's telling us what. A man, Charlemagne the God, that's not his name. DJ Envy, that's not his name. Angela Yee, yeah, she goes by her name. But you got 66.7% of the show of people who are in character. The characters. They're not being who they truly are. And that's where we get our information. Or we go get our news from the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, the Spiritual Word. Man, these are news sources. Characters. The characters. You don't even know what they look like. You don't know what they sound like. It's a nameless face. It's a faceless name. And that's where you go for information. Characters. We've got to stop going to characters. We got to stop worshiping characters. And we got to start talking to people. We've got to start being people. We got to aspire to be better people. Be our better self. I don't want to grow up to be like Batman or Superman. I want to grow up to be like a healthy, successful, prosperous black man. You know, but what do I know? Because I'm just a character. And they call me the Big Baby. And I'm back. Y'all know I just can't wait till I get rid of this Big Baby name so I can stop being a character. But until then, I told y'all I would give y'all the episode 200. And ain't no more Big Baby. We got a new name. Because y'all ain't going to break my soul. We can go back to that one. Y'all will not break my soul. But hey, look, man, we got a great show for y'all today. Let me tell you, we got a great show for y'all today. I'm going to talk about some golden calves. I'm going to talk about the new Harvey Dent. Going to talk about pussy. Going to talk about, everything ain't for everybody, especially when you're talking. You can't be on OnlyFans if you want to be my OnlyFan. How, I came back and realized raw sex may not be worth it in 2022 for y'all. It is for me, but I'm not y'all. You dig? And then we'll get into some slippery slope stuff that I talked about earlier a while ago in the pod. But let's hop into our first topic, man. If y'all remember, there was a time where Aaron, brother Moses, brought out that golden calf because, folks was tired of listening to God. They thought the golden calf was the answer. And then, people developed their own idol gods that they worshipped. And I'm talking to you religious folks, you Christian folks now, right? Y'all, we talk about in Bible study, we talk about in church, these idol gods. And one thing that I haven't seen in that conversation is the advancement of what an idol god is. Because so often you have, especially the youth now, right? These are the people who are important. These are the people who are impressionable. These are the people who are more likely to be caught up into these idol gods, right? You try to paint a picture of people worshiping a cow or worshiping a statue. No, man. These people are worshiping at the feet of Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Jay-Z, Beyonce, R. Kelly. Hell, 6ix9ine, Tekashi, 50 Cent, you name it. I got rappers, I got trappers, I got singers, I got blingers, I got dancers, I got prancers, romancers, influencers, politicians, you name it. Basketball players, football players, tennis players, soccer players, AOC, ABC, you name it. These celebrities are the new golden calves. These celebrities are the new golden calves because y'all gonna worship them instead of what you need to have your attention focused on, and you're gonna miss out on the promised land. All right, now let me take this away from religion. Okay, I'm gonna take it away from religion for a second, and I'm gonna talk about how you get so focused on what Ari the Don done said and what's going on with her and Moneybag. You get so focused on what Nicki Minaj done did and how her husband ain't registered as a sex offender, but he ain't gonna get locked up because he's Nicki Minaj's husband. You worried about Big Sean and Janae Aiko because they got a baby on the way. You worried about Marion's brother and his weird OnlyFans thing going on. All of that stuff. Who won the last verses? What is Joe Budden gonna talk about? Nori. Who he gonna have on Drink Championship? Why is Kim K still with Pete? Pete, whatever his last name is. You worried about all of this stuff, and you ain't worried about yourself, man. I tell you what, boy, we hit the hill of the handbag. You have your mind focused on all of these different distractions, right? But you're not focused on the things that are going to get you to where you want to go. These are idol gods because you use your idle time, right? IDLE to worship these idol gods, IDOL, right? And even if you're not a religious human being, you should probably use your time, your IDLE time, right, to idolize a lifestyle that you want and spend your time achieving those goals. So instead of, I don't know, worrying about celebrity news and celebrity gossip, find a way to generate the income in order to become a celebrity. I mean, because if you want to be a celebrity, if you want to be in the public eye, I don't knock you for that. I ain't telling you that's right or wrong and different. Your life, not mine. I want to know some popular people. Don't care to be popular. I like to hang out in the back and talk because, see, podcasts are easy when you don't know folks you're talking about. I promise you, so much easier. Because let me tell you what, if I had to do like a Cartersville in-depth podcast, I might not be able to show my face in the city ever again. And if I did, I would have to have a hammer on me. And I don't want to live like that. But no, the celebrities are the new golden cows because we really as the people just spend our time just being obsessed with their lives. We follow what they do. We listen to what they say. We Cardi B is telling us who to vote for. I'm talking about whap, whap, whap. These is red bottom. These are blood shoe. I like it like that. I like it like that. Want to party with Cardi. If it's up, then it's up, then it's stuck. And y'all need to get y'all's head out from up her ass and get unstuck and start retoning your focus to things that matter. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging celebrities. There's nothing wrong with being a fan of these people. Well, I take that back. There's everything wrong with being a fan of the people if you don't know the person, but there's nothing wrong with being a fan of the products that they provide, the services that they provide. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when your fandom goes from, praise, acknowledging what they do, and it becomes worship, that's when they become your idol, IDOL, because it goes back to us being in love with characters, these corrupt characters, right? We start idolizing these people. So then we use our idle time to be more like them instead of using our idle time to become the best person that we can be. You understand? You can't become the best Adam if you focus on being the best Big Baby. No, that's worshiping the idol god, okay? You can't be the best Adam if you're trying to be the best Charlemagne the God. No. That's worshiping the idol God. You can't be the best Adam if you're sitting here trying to become the best Joe Budden. No. That's the idol God. Look here, you can't become the best Adam Christopher Lee II if you're spending your time trying to be Adam Lee the first. No. That is an idol God. You have to spend your time being the best person that you can be because that's who you are. That doesn't mean you aren't influenced by those who aren't you. That doesn't mean that you don't take advice from people outside of your circle. All it means is that you focus on you and you try to get through as much information as you can that makes you instead of trying to be them. Because if you keep worshiping them, you keep listening to them, you keep paying them, What the hell you gonna have left? Folks love to talk about how, man, look what Jay-Z did, man. He helped Meek get this. He helped Lil Wayne get that. He did this for 21 Savage, free Britney Griner. And I go, man, what they got to do with the common folk down here? What they doing for the have-nots? I'm not saying they aren't doing anything for the have-nots. But don't tell me how the haves done help the haves and they ain't did nothing for the have-nots and say I should want to be like him. No, I shouldn't. I like Robin Hood. You know what I'm saying? I like Robin Hood because he robbed, he brought it back to the hood. You know what I'm saying? It was this guy named Rob. He was in the hood. He would go take from the haves and give to the have-nots. Yeah, Robin Hood's a criminal, and I don't support criminal activity. Y'all should know that from my stance here. But I support Robin Hood way more than I support the bureaucrat who goes in and tweaks policies that helps the policymakers, but don't help the constituents, right? I can't support that. Can't get behind that. No. If you robbing the rich and giving to the poor, I don't support robbing. But if that's what you're doing, I can get behind that way more than somebody who's a law-abiding citizen who's doing nothing but helping the rich. You know, I'm sorry, Jay-Z. No, Jay-Z talking about bringing crypto to the hood. Bring crypto to the hood. You sound like somebody who ain't been to the hood. I don't think he understands what's good in the hood. Because if he trying to bring crypto to the hood and he think that's a good idea, oh man, boy, he got a hood over his face, don't he? He got a hood over his eyes. He can't see. Hood over his ears. He can't hear. That ain't good, Jay. Boy, been out the hood so long, he forgot what they need. Hey, let's give him crypto. Let's give them financial literacy on some crypto. Look here, financial literacy is great, but let's give them some finances. It's great to know how to read, but if you ain't got no book, what you gonna do? You can tell a man all you want about crypto. He could be a crypto expert, but if he ain't got no cash to invest in some crypto, he gonna be crypto broke, still full of knowledge. But that's what y'all like. Y'all like to be full of knowledge. But if Jay-Z said it, we can do it because they're them golden calves. We're gonna be like them. You fight for them. You fight over them. You buy their stuff. But the thing is, and I think we need to realize this, it's hard to become that. They're the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. Don't strive to be Jay-Z. You're probably not that good with words. You probably didn't sell crack and have other people around you who sold crack who can actually front your other dreams to allow you to put your mind to work, then to legitimize your hustle, and then go become a billionaire, and then marry and find a woman who you see who has the same potential that you have, and then use your resources, use your influence while she uses her talent, and then y'all become billionaires. Y'all become a billionaire couple. I don't think you can do that. I don't think I can do that, and I'm okay with that. I think you need to find more legitimate role models. Because, see, there's nothing wrong with having a role model. You just can't have no idol. You can't worship nobody, but you can take somebody and see what they're doing, and you can model yourself after what they're doing, you know. Can't model yourself after that person, no, but you can take what that person is doing and you can do it for yourself. So think about what Charles Barkley said. Charles Barkley said, I'm not a role model. Why? Charles Barkley was an undersized power forward who made it to the Hall of Fame. Top 50 player of all time, top 75 player of all time. No, you cannot be Charles Barkley. But you know what? You can be a baker. What's wrong with that? Go get you a trade. You can go do work on Charles Barkley's house because you are a great HVAC guy, or you're a great mason. I ain't talking about a Freemason. I'm talking about a bricklaying mason. Or you're a plumber. Or hell, you're a financial advisor. Get a trade. Go to school, learn, do either or, but find something that works for you and stop idolizing these idols with your idle time and find an idea that ideally fits your skill set instead of sitting idly by wasting your life. You can evolve into your best you and stop trying to be a character or a caricature, and you can be your best self. But let me tell you what, man. Miss Fannie Willis, the Harvard Dent of Atlanta, is the hero that Atlanta needs but don't deserve. Now, she's not a fan favorite by a lot of y'all. Because y'all much rather let YSL and YFN run around the city, shooting each other up, making the city unplays, influencing the youth because they idolize them, and those kids wanting to go ride for them. You know, that's what y'all want. Y'all want to support the criminals because the criminals make good music. But let me tell you what. Tell you something. I don't give a damn how good that music is. We can find some more. I promise you, it's some skilled, talented non-criminals out here. Neo told y'all the other day that women set the vibe for the music because men gonna make what women like, and DJs gonna play what the women like. And as long as the women keep liking this robbing, shooting, killing, then you ain't gonna never have "We're making love no more. We're not even trying to." No, we ain't gonna try to change for what? You like this shit, don't you? Yeah. You like this. So why would I change something that you like? It's paying me, but see, we got Miss Fannie Willis, baby. We got Harvey Dent out here, and she's about to lock these jokers up. YFN, YSL. She got 2 more on the way, and guess what? I am a firm supporter of Miss Willis. You know why? Because we got to clean the streets. And guess what? If our role models, y'all's idols, are the ones out here who are polluting our streets, the ones who are out here disrupting the youth and corrupting the youth, show the youth what happened if you want to live that life. Give them the full spectrum. Yeah. We ran it up. We ran it up. But then what we did was, instead of running it up and running out, we ran it up and we stayed in. And then we got good at something else. We was making clean money, legitimate money. Yes, sir. We had that legitimate money. And we took our legitimate money and we got it back dirty. We got it back dirty because that's what we like to do. You know, we got to stay true to where we come from. Got to stay street, cuz, you know what I mean? Blood. Yeah, we got to do all that now. Bird bath. Yeah. We got to do all that. And then what happens? You in too deep. Get caught. But it's Young Thug. But it's Gunna. But it's 4-2 Doug. But it's this, that. No. I don't give a damn who you are, rapper. If you done made it out of that, and that's really what you come from, you know, I had a topic in my list that I was sitting on. Maybe I was too hard on the criminals because of their trauma and they don't know no better. And then I said, you know what? You got to know better. You're rich enough to know better. And it's one thing to make bad decisions and make mistakes, but it's a whole nother thing to be running a criminal enterprise when you have a legal enterprise over here where you feeding all these different people and they're actually succeeding. But then that criminal enterprise over there is seeing your people getting locked up, your people getting killed, and put themselves in situations that they didn't have to be in because you could give them clean legal money. I ain't telling you to turn your back on the streets. I'm just telling you not to go back in them. So if Miss Willis is gonna lock them up, the D out of Atlanta, I want you to lock them up. And if it's more rappers, even ones that I like, if they still out here, if they out here being criminals, setting a bad example for the kids in our community, lock them up. It's straight open kids. Like, look here, here's where you can go. You can leave these slums. You can become that, but just like you can become that, you can turn right back, come to these slums, and you still live in these slums. You're gonna turn into a bum. If you ain't gonna turn into a bum, you're gonna turn into a convict. Convict music. Yeah, 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 yeah. You can do that. And I don't have a problem with it. I'm sorry. As much as I want to hear Young Thug go, ooh, or whatever he be doing on the track, I only care for Gunna because nobody ever woke up and said, boy, if I could rap like Gunna, boy, I'll sure be a winner. Nobody said that. But I say this to say that, man, I don't know if the city of Atlanta deserves this hero because y'all sending her death threats. Y'all upset with her because she trying to clean up the streets. And y'all want to say it's an attack on black artists, it's an attack on black music, it's an attack on black art. Man, hell no. It's an attack on black criminals. It's an attack on black killers. You think about the victims and the victims' families of these people. Now, if you sign up for the street life, sign up for the street life. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Live by the street, die by the streets. What about that young man's mother who didn't sign up for that? What about that young man's child who didn't sign up for that? Don't you think they deserve justice? Do you think these people deserve to just sit there and watch the person who is responsible for their loved ones passing just walk around free because they can sing good, they can rap good? I done heard a lot of freestyles through the jail phone. I done heard a lot of jail stores, prison stores where they getting cell phones, getting heroin, getting weed, getting molly, getting cocaine, having a great time in there. So why not just set up a YSL studio? Set up a YFN studio. Don't be mad at the prosecutor for prosecuting the criminals. Be mad at the criminals for committing the crimes. If they committed the crimes, what we arguing about? What we talking about? Lock them up, man. Black people, we deserve better. We deserve leaders. We deserve role models who elevate their minds and their lives as their status elevates. I ain't gonna knock the hustle on the corner trying to get off the corner, but I'm gonna knock the rapper who hustled his way off the corner, who just trying to go back to the corner. No, that ain't it. That ain't it. But let's talk about something that's very near and dear to my heart and my life. And it's vaginal. Vagina. Some people call it pussy. Plies call it pussy. You know, I ain't gonna call it its word, but cat, snatch. You know those. Yeah. You know that. Let's talk about that. And here's why I want to talk about it. Not because I want to be sexual, not because I want to be disgusting, but because Latto dropped a song this past weekend, and I think that this song is it's really a talking point. I think it speaks to something that's momentous in the world today. I think this is an artist trying to use their platform for good to talk about issues that are affecting that's affecting her community, and she's using her voice to speak out against those issues. Now, as much as I support her ability to say it and the stance that she's taken, I don't necessarily agree with everything she's saying. And that's fine. That's what I'm here for, you know. We shouldn't agree with everything that anybody says, and we shouldn't agree with nothing that people say unless we just don't agree with it. But we should be able to hear out somebody, take the good, the bad, the pros, and the cons, and then have a discussion about it. And I want to have a discussion with Latto that she may not have back with me, but I want to have a discussion with Latto about her lyrics. Because again, I want to open this by commending Latto for seeing something in society, speaking out against the mistreatment of women. Good on you. You should do that, and more women rappers should follow behind you, but not just women rappers. More rappers should follow in the footsteps of what Latto is doing and using their loud voice. I ain't talking about you no name rappers that ain't nobody listening to. I'm talking about a rapper with a big name who's hot going out and speaking against something that she does not like. I support that. But I'll tell you, this song is full of a lot of bullshit. Got to drink some Beyonce for that. Hold up, you baby! Hold up, you baby! So, it's kind of off to upgrade you. Let me see. N-word, who is you the clock? Let's see. Could barely pop. Let's see. Niggas kiss and tell like that it's not. Let's see. Okay, one thing. Let's talk about kissing and telling. I personally don't think you should kiss and tell outside of your social circle. Within the social circle, that don't matter. The group text, yeah. And it's not about bragging. It's not about bragging. It's about letting people know who you're involved with and what you're doing, because sometimes you can be living in the same city with your guys, moving in similar circles. Y'all get to move in a certain type of way. And there's some shiesty folks out here. There's some shiesty women, some shiesty guys out here, but there's some shiesty women out here who know that's your partner, and y'all, you hollering at her, she hollering at him, but y'all hollering at each other in different, you know what I'm saying, different settings where you and your partner never together, and y'all ain't really talked about it. So then y'all meet up at the same spot one time, then shorty there, and then both of y'all shoot, and you sitting there like, hold on, bro, like, going on here, cup. It's happened. Speaking on experience. You know what I'm saying? Real G's moving silence like lasagna, baby. Call me Big Baby Lasagna. Adam Lee, aka Lil Lasagna. Not no more, but back in my day, yes, sir. You didn't see me. Sniper. Dead shot. But anyways, I say that to say that when you're moving in silence, sometimes you step over people. And everybody don't respond to that the same way. Some people, they live by the real game. You know what I'm saying? Let them choose. If she want to do what she want to do, her body, her choice. And not to say that people who don't live by that are coercing women into doing things that they don't want to do. No, but they'll start feeling some type of way because of time they've invested into a woman, and think that they have some type of like, hey, bro, you overstepped the boundaries. Is that your main lady? No, I overstepped nothing. The game is the game is the game is the game. I was taught let them choose. You can be mad in private, not in public. So this idea that men can't, I mean, if you go out bragging about somebody that you've been with, I think that's corny. Just like if you go out trying to expose somebody you've been with, I think that's corny. Like, you should. I'm about to look at me splitting hairs here. Here we go. Who is you to bash Ussy? Y'all sweet ass Ussy. Tell him how you could make me climax Ussy. Well, sorry. Maybe next time. Can you teach me how? Can you tell me what you like? Well, maybe that Ussy was so good. I was like, ooh, see, ooh, see, ooh, see, ooh, see, ooh, see. Ooh, wee. She got the, ooh, see. That ain't Ussy, that's ooh, see. Ooh, when you see that, you ooh, wee. Who is you to bash Ussy? Y'all sweet ass. But the bash, hey, look here, man. People are going to be critical of their encounters, whether it's positive or negative, but they're going to have like a critique of it. And I'm sorry. Back in my single days, if I had sex with a woman, I think I'm in every right to say, oh, yeah, that ish was trash. Just like if I have sex with a woman or had sex with a woman in my single days, and she'd be like, ooh, that ish was trash. Bro, my wife right now, we go in the room and yada me, and she could be like, hey, yo, you know what? That wasn't it. That was terrible. She's well within her rights to do that. Yeah, yeah. She can criticize penis. You know what I'm saying? She can bash it. If it's bashable, bash it. Hell, it's Monday night. It's bash like the Buffalo. Yeah, you can go ahead and bash it if it ain't no good. But at the same time that you bash something, you got to be able to big it up when necessary. Here we go. I demand my respect. Watch me watch the he paint me as crazy. Now, it's one thing about demanding your respect and being respected, but then also doing some wild stuff. I don't think reasonable people now, because I also think, you know what I mean. Right now, we're speaking to a person who's generalizing men, obviously, and generalizing women to get a point across for a song. But I think that when you make these generalizations and people run with it, it doesn't acknowledge the fact that they have a bad problem of choosing partners. Back to this no accountability society. If you want to bash, if you got somebody who you've been with and you want to just bash them, you know what I'm saying? And then when they try to talk to them and they call you crazy, maybe you picked the wrong person to be giving that ussy to. You know what I mean? Maybe that was the problem. Maybe you was pushing P to the wrong person. No way that could happen, right? It's his fault. It's his fault. He's a sucker. But you sucked on that sucker. I'm crazy. I know. Y'all sexualize lesbians for y'all entertainment. Whatever. The lesbians did it. They engaged in gossip from their mama basement or their own basement or their own house. People talk. There's two sides with this right here, man. If you don't give Ussy up, then they'll take it. That I don't accept that. That is disgusting. If you can't take no as a no, and again, I honestly think this young lady is speaking from trauma. I think I'm not gonna come out here and just say I think Latto has been raped. No, but I think that she's been put in situations where she did not want to be sexually involved with a guy or multiple guys, especially in the music industry, and those guys have pressed her. And I think it's important to talk about that because if that's happening in the music industry and ain't nobody doing nothing about it, bro, y'all just as bad as the people who was around R. Kelly who now want to denounce him. If you see, I was told silence is consent. And there are people who get upset when they hear that because they go, well, no, I'm like, well, look here. If you slap me in my face and I don't do nothing about it, that means I said I'm okay with it. No matter how I feel after, if I felt like it was wrong, if I felt like I was violated, but I did not respond to that action, I told that person that I was okay with it. So when we talk about silence being consent, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are okay with it. But what it does is it signals to the person who committed the act that you are okay with what they did because you did not respond in a way that told them, you know what, this ain't it. So if you are a bystander standing by and watching around and letting a woman get taken advantage of, allowing her uti to be taken, bruh, you more pussy than pussy. Y'all misogynistic ways show the size of your. I ain't gonna get into dick size conversations. Seen with the opposite sex and just decide that he hit. Yeah, that's trash. Guess what, men? Guess what, women? Platonic relationships exist. Attractive platonic relationships exist. Platonic relationships with attraction exist. Yeah. Respect between men and women exists. It does. And if you live in a world where you don't think that that exists, I'm curious to ask you what's your world like? Have you been able to manage a platonic relationship? Are you projecting your thoughts, your feelings on other people because of the way you live your life or the way you've chosen to live your life? Because guess what? Everybody ain't you. And if you think that just because a guy and a girl, a man and a woman spend time together, they hang out, they enjoy a laugh, they enjoy a drink, they enjoy a dinner, that means they're going to have sex, and then you are projecting your own, shall I say, insecurities, your own inability to enjoy a person for who they are and not what's in between their legs. Can you not fathom the idea of two people who who have the same sex interest, like a man who likes to have sex with women and a woman who likes to have sex with men, those two types of people hanging out together, and it just be a hangout and it be nothing more? Because if you have an issue with that, I tend to believe that you're more inclined to be one of those people who only hangs out with the sex that you're attracted to for sex. And if that's you, that's cool, but you need to understand that everybody doesn't see the world through your paradigm. There's more than one. You should probably press shift on yours. Okay, let's keep going. It ain't your property. Get mad and call me. Okay, I ain't gonna. If he make you split rent, he probably it. Nah, if he make you split rent, that means he's being financially responsible. You ain't the only person that's gonna add to your savings account, add to your investment account. We both living here, right? But equal rights, right? Equal right, equality. So me and you, we working here, we living here together. Yeah. Just because, no. You, how much money? No, we got to split these expenses proportionately. I ain't say we got to split them in half. We got to split them proportionately. Yeah. We got to do that because the idea that I got to pay for your lifestyle, that's not equality. That right there, that's what put your ussy in trouble. Not with me. Because I'm gonna tell you, that will put your ussy in trouble because now you have no control over your well-being anymore. You understand when you give up your ability to contribute to the household, especially financially, because that's tangible. We can see that when there's no kids involved, you give up the right to make a lot of decisions. Because if you got to come ask for money every time you need something, the answer can be no many times when you need something, right? Because what happens if he's selfish and his wants comes before your needs? Well, it's his money, but he's splitting rent. So I guess he a itch with a B. Latto's words, not mine. Let's get to this next verse. I can't do the insecure stuff. No, I can't either. Better be a man if you want me to act like you're. Hey, you know what? If you hold that man to a standard, but make sure you define what it is to be a man so that he knows how to come correct so that you can be his down ass. In the comments talking about some ussy that you'll never touch. Yeah, y'all dudes are corny who comment about these women. You should comment in your group text. That's where it's received. If you and your double standards, ussy ain't for you to judge. Yeah, the double standards ain't cool. But let me tell you what, when we talk about this whole thing that's not to judge, and our society is really going here. We keep going here. We keep talking about how if you're not this, you can't have a comment on that. Excuse me? I consume it. I feel it. You mean to tell me I can't talk about the quality of your sex? I've had it with you and others. I can compare and contrast. And I'm the type of that make it laugh. You know, I'm not crazy for thinking this way, am I? Am I losing my mind? Am I gorilla Zoe? Am I losing it? Am I losing it? Am I losing my mind? Because right now I'm confused and I don't know what to do, because if you tell me that I just got to accept whatever type of sex I have with a woman and just say, you know what, that was good. You know what? I can't even say it's good. I gotta say, that was vagina. What, do you like my vagina? It was vagina. Latto told me that I can't speak on it. I can't judge it because I ain't got a vagina. So because I don't have a vagina, I don't know. It was vagina. I can't even say thank you for your vagina because that might make you think that I am judging your vagina. You know what? Have a good day, ma'am. Have a good day, vagina. I'll see you when you come back. Hold on, hold on. I'll see you when you come again. You know what I mean? Like, if she, and even if she's talking about like, if you don't have a vagina, then you should not be in a place to make rules and laws about vaginas. I disagree with that. Not because I'm a man saying that men are right. I'm saying that as someone who understands that every lawmaker will not reflect the demographics of every person that they make laws for. So I think it's on the lawmakers to do the necessary research to understand their constituents, because if you understand your constituents, even if you aren't made of what they're made of, if you don't have their same experiences, you can still either through your advisors, through your friends, through your network, have that voice be heard because that's your job, right? It's not about your voice being heard. It's about your voice echoing the voices of those who elected you to speak for them. Let's see what else we got. How you call it pimping, but you gotta lie to me? Yeah, it ain't pimping if you lying. If your women don't know what you doing, it ain't pimping. It's lying. And that's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. But it ain't just know it ain't pimping. Pimping, they know. Lying, they don't. Whatever floats your boat, finds your mind, you know, whatever. Yeah. You just stroke on. Stroke on. What else we got? How you ain't got a ussy but got opinions on us? Because I done been in one. That's like telling me if you don't own a hotel, but you done been inside a hotel, how you got an opinion on it? Because I done stayed at a Motel 6 before, and I done stayed at a DoubleTree. I done stayed at a DoubleTree just like I done stayed at a I don't know, I can't think of a nice hotel I stayed in. But I stayed in a couple nice hotels. You know what I mean? Dang, I can't think of one of the nicer hotels I've stayed in. I mean, yeah, I stayed in a Radisson outside the country, bro. Let me tell you what. It was nice. But again, I stayed in a Motel 6. I can judge both of them. I don't own either. I don't own a I don't I don't own any real estate. But I can comment on the different real estate I've stayed in. Same, boss. Stop it now. Stop it. That's ussy. My ovaries ain't for you to bully. No one. Your ovaries aren't for anyone to bully. But guess what, ma'am? You have control over your ovaries. That's what's crazy, man. You have control over your ovaries. You get to control who goes in, who comes out. No one's trying to tell you who you have to have sex with. That's not what's happening here. And this narrative that's getting pushed on us is it's not the entire truth. And I think that we got to be sure to use the entire truth when we talk. But I'm not going into an abortion conversation right now. Speak up, or they gonna offend the abuser. These niggas losers. Yeah, anybody who supports guys who are actually taking advantage of women are punks. But if you're somebody who actually listens with an objective ear and you take your time and you don't cast judgment until you have all the information, or you wait for a court of law to make an answer, that's okay. That's okay. And if they tell you that's not okay, who cares? All right, let's keep pushing. Every conversation is not for everybody. I am in a talking mood today, so I'm gonna keep talking. Y'all remember back in the day when they started putting those parental advisory notices on CDs, right? Which lets a parent know my kid probably should not listen to this if they're young and they're immature, or I should listen to this before I allow my child to listen to it so that I understand what my child is consuming. Makes sense to you, makes sense to me. All right, we balling, big baby. Just like when you go to the movies, you have movies that are G, PG, PG-13, and R. We're getting to a place where we're forgetting that every conversation isn't for everybody. People want us to have a public stance on something. Well, maybe I don't want to have a public stance because my public stance is that I discuss those problems, those issues, those subjects in private. That's my public stance. Oh, so does that mean you don't stand against this? No, it doesn't mean that at all. It means that I'm not talking to you about it. I'm not talking to the media about it. I'm not going on a podcast and talking about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my team about it, and I'm going to move in a way that reflects what I believe. So watch my actions. Don't watch me, watch my actions. Oh, I didn't press the button, did I? Oh. See, I done messed up. Hold on 1 second, y'all. 1 second. This was supposed to be a roller. Supposed to be a roller. No, that's the roller. And then this one, where are we at? Where are we at? Bruh. I'm losing my mind. Guess I pressed something else I wasn't supposed to press. There we go. No. There we go. No, there we go. There we go. This should not be a ticker, though. What am I looking for? Okay, I see where I messed up. All right. But yeah, every conversation is not for everybody. And the reason why every conversation is not for everybody, because everybody is not equipped to have the conversation. So when it comes to music, when it comes to movies, hey man, some of this stuff isn't for kids. So stop trying to make my stuff for kids. And just like certain stuff ain't for kids, certain conversations ain't for people who don't meet a certain, I don't know, IQ. Everybody just can't take a quantum physics book and open it and start reading and understanding it. It's so easy in academia to delineate what's for the masses and what's for the few, right? We can do that so easily because people can just tangibly say, I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. I don't have that. No, I don't know. Easy day. But if I decide to have a conversation about a highly contested issue and you say, well, you didn't include me and my feelings in that, well, the conversation wasn't for you. How entitled are you to think that you deserve to be in every conversation? How entitled are you to think that I'm supposed to include your child into this conversation? Oh, well, what about the kids, man? I ain't talking to the kids. I'm talking to the parents. I talk to the parents different from the way I talk to the kids. See, this is for the parents. This is raw and uncut. This podcast I do, this podcast ain't for the kids. Nah, the stuff I do is the stuff you see me do in the community. That's for the kids. Boy, I sound like Charleston. Boy, I'm getting sick right here. You go to Cartersville, Georgia. Let me flex a little. Let me talk my noise. You go to Cartersville, Georgia. You talk to Circle of Advancement. You speak specifically to them. Talk to them, and you ask them where we started, what it came from, and who it was for. And I promise you, if they tell you it ain't for the kids, leave it alone. Because it's all about the kids. Don't help me, help the kids. But I say that to say every conversation is not for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with having a select group of people that you want to talk to, but making sure that when you have those conversations, you make it be very known who your audience is. You know, I used to get so upset when I was at Morehouse when we would have the parents come and they would do these different showcases of students and the professors and stuff, and they're talking and they're using their 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 smart words, right? As I'd call them. And I go, man, you're using all these academic words, and everybody here is not an academic. And one thing about Thurgood Marshall, deceased Justice Thurgood Marshall, he was well known for his ability to be able to fit in any environment that he was in. And part of that is knowing the language to use with the people that you're around. Why the hell would you go to a place with your friends playing cards, drinking, talking noise, scratching your nuts, and you're using your words from the Supreme Court? They don't want to hear that. They don't even speak that language. I'm willing to bet some of them couldn't speak that language if they tried to, because that's not where they are in life. We got to learn to meet people where they are instead of trying to make everybody meet us where they are. And if somebody can't meet you where they are, or if you can't meet them where they are, they can't meet you where you are, then you know what? Maybe y'all shouldn't meet. Maybe y'all shouldn't meet. You know what? I haven't met Halle Berry, and I haven't lost a hour, a second of sleep because of it. I ain't met Megan Good, and I promise you I'm good. I ain't met J-Lo either. But guess what? I ain't feeling low. My spirits is high. I ain't met Kim K, but I'm okay. And I'm saying that to say that every conversation is not for everybody. Every meeting place isn't for every person. And the sooner we realize that, the better off we'll be, instead of trying to make everything for everybody. Well, this is not inclusive to them. This is not inclusive to that. Well, I'm going to include more people and exclude other people. So what's up? There's no catch-all. You know, we have these traditions, we have these theories, we have these thoughts, and they make sense for a reason, but all of a sudden now we want to abandon them. I'm not saying that the way the old society ran was the perfect way to go, but my God, we're getting out of hand. We're getting out of hand. Me as a black man, I should be able to have a conversation for black people in Black America and not be shunned for it. I should. And I also should be able to take my conversation and say, as a black man who operates in a predominantly white America, this is how I feel. I shouldn't be shunned for it. As a black man, I should be able to say, hey, man, look here, young black guys, here's how you should, here's how I feel when I went through what you're going through right now. And I shouldn't be shunned for it. And I should be able to have a belief, whether or not you identify with that belief, whether or not you agree with that belief. I should be able to have that belief and not be shunned for it. The words, the thoughts, that's conversation, man. That's for you to deal with in your head, to deal with the people who know you and know what you feel. But the only time you should be held accountable is when those things turn into actions. Now, when you are excluding people, mistreating people because they're not who you're dealing with, that's where accountability turns in. But I'm rambling. I can feel myself rambling. But every conversation ain't for everybody. Saw an interesting post on the gram last week. I got a little bit of ice water in here. And they're talking about women living their best life and OnlyFans and all of this stuff. And there's this idea that men don't want women to live their best life. And I don't think men are trying to stop women from living their best life. I just think there are certain things that men don't want to deal with. And I don't think they're wrong for that. Just like I don't think a woman is wrong for drawing a line somewhere. So here's the conversation.
Thing and not be judged by it.
Oh,
But
here we go.
women think they can just do anything and not be judged by it. But they have to understand, like, you can do OnlyFans, you can show your ass and all that stuff, do it, make your money, all that stuff. But that's not what men want to be married to.
Right.
And so they chasing all these things, chasing the money, and then wondering why dudes don't want to settle down with them. Because it's like, I don't want that. Like, I want a wife.
Yeah.
And a wife does not exude those qualities. And so they thinking everything is just okay. You can have a hot girl summer, you can do all this stuff and then go back to a husband when that's not going to happen.
I feel like the standards on each end are always women have to be way up here and the men can give the bare minimum because you don't want us to have a hot girl summer because of your reputation attached to our name. But then in return, we be going out and get a little snickles and giggles from other bitches like, oh yeah, girl, look, his dick right here in my boat. You think we want to be married to that? You think that's a good representation of the man that's leading my family? But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's too much of this from the men's side, but no accountability for the bullshit that they do as well.
All right, so I won't shout out that podcast. I won't give them any credit. I don't know those people. I don't care who they are, but I will gladly take their topic. Okay, here we go. How you on OnlyFans? You want to be my? Oh, how you on OnlyFans? You want to be my OnlyFan? Think about that. How you out here tricking? And you want to be at home simping? That's a bomb that's ticking. Ready to explode. And you'll never blow your load. But anyways, let's talk about this. Let's talk about it from a woman's perspective, from a man on a woman's perspective first. Hey man, you want to do your hot girl summer? Go do it. Live your life. You want to have your what we used to call a hoe phase? Go through your hoe phase. Do it before you meet me. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to be associated with the people who you experienced that with. It's called college, or maybe the college years. And if you weren't fortunate enough to have that experience, maybe you did it in your hometown. Well, leave your hometown. Or if you meet somebody who's not from your hometown, shortly thereafter, get the hell on. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with finding yourself, whether you're a man or a woman. There's nothing wrong with experimenting, trying different things. There's nothing wrong with whoring. If you ask me, I want a whore. But there is something wrong with you not being able to be accountable for your actions. You know? And the thing the man was like, yeah, you want to go on OnlyFans, you want to do this, you want to go do that. Well, I don't want to wife you. And guess what? There is a population of women who haven't done those things that you're into, that you're not into, so you can go wife those women. And for the woman who's saying, well, going out, girl talking about, I got his in my inbox. Well, there's a lot of guys who don't send out those pictures. Wasn't doing that. I thought that was weird. That was corny. Didn't trust nobody. But I'm saying all of that to say that too often we generalize these conversations about men and women. And I said this earlier, but we generalize these conversations and we forget that there are other people out there. And we're so quick to point the finger at the person that we're upset with, that we're trying to pursue because they don't meet our qualifications. And maybe you're looking for the wrong thing. If you go, right. If you go to the woods, you go hunting. Sometimes, you got rabbit season and deer season, they overlap. And you can go rabbit hunting and you can come across a deer. And depending on who you're with and what kind of rifle you have, gun you have on you, you can take your deer home. But if you got buckshots and you see a deer, bro, you don't want to shoot that. You're going to mess up all that darn meat and waste your damn time. Just like if you go deer hunting, you sit up in a tree stand and a rabbit just happens to stroll through there. You shooting your rifle, you got to get one shot, one kill. But also, is it worth losing the deer because you just saw a rabbit that came across? Now, so you got to understand, don't go chasing waterfalls. Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Not only the rivers and lakes that you're used to, you got to find the places. Look here, man. Hell, I ain't going lion hunting in Cartersville. I promise you. And I'm not flying to Africa to go rabbit hunting. I ain't saying I can't find no rabbit there, but I know I can. Man, look, I can go my grandma's backyard and get them dogs out there. We hunt him, yeah, hunt him. Yeah, I can find me a rabbit. Sure can, absolutely. So you got to hunt in the fields in which you want to find your prey, find your person, find your partner. But y'all just keep going out here and these different. Y'all keep going out here saying, "I don't want no OnlyFans girl." Guess what? I know about 5, maybe 5 OnlyFans girls, like personally, and I've never tried to get at them because they wasn't my type. You talk about these girls who be out here like, yeah, man, yeah. I know them. I ain't dated them. You know why? Not my type. Not what I'm into. I promise you, you attract what you are. You attract what you're into as long as you express the energy. Shout out to my cousin Skylar and her energy. As long as you're putting out positive energy and energy that you want, you'll get it back, man. For real. But to think that you can't have a past, you can have a past. You can have a future. You just got to find somebody who's willing to accept that. Just find somebody who's willing to accept what you do, but also take accountability for your actions. If I sent out a bunch of dick pics in the city in which I met my wife, and she was like, "Hey, I know too many girls who got your dick in their phone," and she wouldn't want to be with me, I would be like, "Yeah, I get it." But I was intentional. I ain't mess with none of her friend group on purpose. We talked about is raw sex worth it in 2022? I don't think so. It ain't worth it no more. It ain't worth it no more. No, sir, no, ma'am. Raw sex ain't worth it no more in 2022. Because you see these new laws they got coming out here? They trying to start child support yeah. Once you're pregnant, you got to start paying child support. I'll tell you what, I'm a married man. I wish the government would tell me I got to start paying child support. The hell? I'm already supporting. The hell you think I'm doing right now? Going to work every day paying these bills, rubbing these feet, washing these dishes, cooking this dinner, making sure everything is good so this pregnancy goes through perfectly. Like what else would I do as a married man? You know what I'm saying? When my wife get pregnant, that's what I'm doing. I'm taking care of her. I'm supporting. Now, if we ain't married, we're not in a committed relationship, we're not on the same page, we taking DNA tests through the womb? How soon can you do that? Hey, research. I need y'all to get on that. How soon can we determine the male parent of a child? And what if she don't know? What if he's the only child? I mean, not the only child. What if he was the one night stand? She don't know his name. How we gonna find him? I'm just curious. I'm just being honest. I'm asking questions because I don't know. I'm just a big baby. And I'm curious because I want to make sure I can educate my few fans so that they understand what they need to do if they live in Ohio where that might happen. That raw sex may not be worth it, but hell. But I done talk no notes today, boy. I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Well, where my next page at? Now we talking about suing. They talking about suing if the baby.
Too much of this.
I don't know. Talking about suing if you don't pull out. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Suing unintended pregnancy. You could sue. Maybe that's the one that's in Ohio. Yeah, that's Ohio because that was Marco Rubio and Kevin Kramer talking about paying child support at contraception. But now in Ohio, they talking about you can sue for unintended pregnancy. So I guess that's what they're gonna say. Hey, look here, we'll take abortion away from y'all, but here's what we can offer you: child support at contraception and a lawsuit if he knock you up and you don't want it. You may make out with Mo with the lawsuit. Yeah. It's crazy what we're doing out here, but yeah, no. Hold on. You on who how do you determine whether or not it was an unwanted pregnancy? You know, it's gonna sound bad. But that's almost as hard as determining consent. You know, it's one thing if you're doing a rape kit and you can see forcible entry in there, obviously, you can kind of surmise from that there's that consent wasn't a thing, especially if you can find, other scarring and stuff from the body, which is still all of that's subjective because you could just be having some rough sex and going at it. So how do you determine whether or not that the pregnancy was wanted? How do you determine if you know what I mean, that sex is agreed to be done without a condom, and then you out there going at it. She's like, yeah, daddy, leave it at me, yeah, come at me. Yeah, that happens. How can we determine that in the court of law? I tell you what, boy, y'all gonna be embarrassed as hell when y'all have to go in there. And the lawyer was like, well, according to my client, you said daddy coming to me. Is that true? But I didn't mean it. So for the record, did you say daddy come in me? No. I said daddy come on me. Come on me. Yes, just on me. Like on my face. Not in my ussy. Cause he's a man, so he can't do nothing to that ussy. At all. I can't even touch it. Now, if these are true protections for women, and somebody who's smarter than me can understand how we can actually use these to hold people accountable while still giving women, women rights, freedom, especially women who are sexually assaulted, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for making sure that we protect sexually assaulted women. But what I'm not for is taking responsibility away from consenting individuals who make a decision and then they don't like the consequences of the decision that they made. We all make decisions, and sometimes we don't get caught, but when we do, these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. Last topic as we close out. A few months back, man, I told y'all that we're going down a slippery slope. We were in Aspen. We were in Vermont. We put on the skis. We went to Big Bear. We took off down that slope. We were we was down that muck. We was down that thing now. And what did we do? We allowed a citizen to sue a gun manufacturer because of actions that were used by a gun. Now, Governor of California, Gavin Newsom, has signed a bill into law that will allow citizens to sue the gun manufacturer for guns that are improperly used. So for starters, fundamentally, I totally disagree with this. The gun manufacturer is allowed, if the gun is legally made, that's not the gun manufacturer's fault. Okay? You attack the person who used the gun. But I see where Newsom's going. And where he's going is he's trying to create a safer place with less guns in his state. And I get it. I'm okay with it. That his end state doesn't bother me, but his process to the end state doesn't sit right with me. And if you know anything about me, I care about the process. I don't care about just getting the right answer. I care about how you got the right answer and getting it the right way. Okay, so when you talk about this, when you look at this topic, you go, "Woo, man, let me say a lot and say absolutely nothing." Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I'm not saying much on this topic. I'm not gonna give you some in-depth analysis that actually makes sense on this topic. But what Gavin Newsom is saying is, look here, I can only do so much to ban the purchase of guns here. I can only do so much to go after the NRA, but what I can do is I can go after the people who make guns. And maybe I make the people who make guns want to make less guns or make their guns a little bit safer, so and harder to get. Or I can just bankrupt these companies so that I can make my state safer, because guess what? When there's fewer guns, internally we're safer. I promise you we're safer. Now, are you safer from the government going crazy? Or are you trying to like spark up a coup? If you want to spark up a coup, you need your guns. Don't support that. You shouldn't do it. Bad decision. You're going to lose. But nonetheless, that's a thing, okay? So, but what I think Governor Gavin Newsom is trying to do is he's like, hey, man, these guns aren't safe. We're seeing all of these problems, and I'm trying to get rid of them. I can't take on the NRA head up. I can't necessarily change all of my gun laws head up, but what I can do is I can go after the manufacturers, and that's what he's doing. And I told y'all that once, I think it was Winchester, who got sued, and they ended up going bankrupt. And once it was Winchester or Remington, I can't remember. But once they got allowed to be sued and go sued for the actions of a shooter, it was over with after that. Because now we have legal precedent. And once we get legal precedent, we're allowed to take that legal precedent and apply it to other cases because it exists. You just need it to exist one time, and that's exactly what's happened. So for those of you who live in liberal states, not me, in the great state of Georgia, I ain't worried about that. I mean, hell, Kemp, we ain't even got to go to the courthouse no more to get a permit. You can just, hey, I bought a pistol. Let me put it on my hip. All right, bet, cool. Welcome to the neck of the woods on my hood. Show you what we living like. I know it's let me take you to the neck of my woods, but I wanted to say that. But anyways, that's where we are, man. And as I close, when we get into a system where we can no longer attack the issues directly, and we have to attack our issues from the side, you know what I mean? We got to suppress the issues, and we just can't do a full frontal attack. That's when we have a problem, and that's where we have to look at, is our system properly serving our people? Are our laws, our rules properly serving our people? And the second that we decide to allow the people to dictate, let's not go too far to something like communism. When we allow the people's voices to be heard to ensure that the government and our elected officials are making the best decisions for those people, I think that we'll be in our best place. But as we continue to have a divide between the people and the politicians, it's just going to be popcorn. Everything is going to be popping, and blowing up. And if you keep it in the microwave too long, it's going to burn.